Now, a big focus for this segment is on the southern states of Andhra and Telangana. Now, remember, the south is key for the BJP as they have to improve their numbers here in order to achieve the 400 seats target they have set for themselves. BJP did not manage to win a single seat from Andhra, Kerala and Tamil Nadu in the 2019 elections. But this time we have seen Prime Minister himself leading BJP's campaign from the front. But alongside this polling process, we've also seen how democracy was disgraced today. We are showing two incidents to you. The first one from Guntur, where a YSRCP MLA was seen slapping a voter. He later claimed the voter was drunk and was allegedly passing casteist remarks, but the voter said that he had objected to the MLA jumping queue, following which he was assaulted by the MLA and his henchmen. The other video is from Hyderabad, where BJP candidate Madhavi Latha was seen asking women wearing burqas to unveil themselves, in a way carrying out a checking drive in polling booths. Both the YSRCP MLA as well as Madhavi Latha have been booked. Cases have been filed against them. But we are highlighting how lawmakers themselves turned lawbreakers, ironically, on an election day. I'm joined by my colleagues Uma from Hyderabad and Pratibha from Guntur. Uma, coming to you first. It's crucial for the BJP, as we mentioned, to do well in all the southern states this time to achieve their target. But as far as these two states are concerned, which poll today, where does BJP stand according to you?
The BJP certainly is hoping to improve its numbers quite dramatically. If 4 was the figure in 2019, they are hoping to double that number and do even better than that. And of course, for that, they are banking on the setback on reverses suffered by the BRS, not just in the assembly election, but post the assembly elections with a lot of desertions happening. So, for the BJP, Telangana is certainly a high-pitched battle, and yes, Hyderabad has been the most high-profile among the battles that the BJP leaders are fighting in Telangana. And Hyderabad Lok Sabha constituency, in that sense, is a classic case for the BJP, which has been accused of using Asaduddin Owaisi's MIM as a party B party. It's often been called the B team of the BJP, and therefore pitching someone like Madhavi Latha, who has fought this battle very spiritedly, very aggressively, and taking on the lion in its cage, as we say, in its den, as we say. So that's what Madhavi Latha did. But today, what she has been seen doing in those videos, certainly seen as something that exceeded the her poll attempts to win over people, and therefore in the line with what she has been alleging about the voter list and so on in the Old City area. Of course, I must point out that that cleanup was done by the Election Commission. 1.79 lakh voters that were removed, out of which only 18,000 happened to be in that kind of a category, which may be doubtful. Andhra Pradesh, once again, the biggest chance for them certainly is to be able to go along with the TDP and the Janasena and make their mark, because otherwise they have less than 1% of the votes. No possibility of winning a seat there unless they are going with this alliance and banking on the Prime Minister's own big pitch that he made in Andhra Pradesh as well.
Right, Uma, thank you for the analysis, but stay with us. Pratibha, going across to you now, and you are in Guntur, where a voter was slapped by an MLA today. That entire incident captured on camera. What reactions are you picking up on ground?
Well, in fact, most of them were visibly upset with the entire fiasco that took place in Guntur. Both the voter as well as the MLA refused to speak on camera. But then, of course, the MLA had his justification made in the form of a video that was recorded, where he issued a statement claiming that it was casteist slur that provoked him to react in that manner. But definitely it doesn't really give him the power to misuse it and to slap a voter there, no matter the slurs that could have possibly been exchanged. And these were some of the reactions that we picked up from different other voters who were there. The voter was who seems to be the victim here was indeed in major shock there, not willing to speak to anyone, something that he couldn't really get over with. And in fact, we did meet with the family there, none of them who were willing to speak there, as well as the MLA who abandoned us right outside the home, not willing to speak, denying any kind of comment that can possibly be made on camera there or in front of the media channels there. But on the face of it, this was something that was extremely deplorable and was highly condemnable and condemned by many of the citizens there who were waiting in queues to cast their vote. Back to you.
Right, Uma Sudhir and Pratibha there. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. I'm also joined on the broadcast by guests who are discussing this issue further with me. Tonight, there's Mr. Chunduru Sundar Ram Sharma, YSRCP spokesperson, Karuna Gopal, leader of the BJP, Nagesh D, his Congress spokesperson there, and Professor Jyotsna Tirunagiri, national spokesperson for the TDP. And we have Mr. Pulla Rao, political analyst. All of them joining me on this discussion tonight. Thank you so much. My first question, of course, going to YSRCP there. Mr. Sharma, why exactly, what could be the defense for this act? We have seen your MLA actually making, pointing out that apparently there were caste-based remarks being passed by that particular voter, but nothing really can justify violence.
See, the incident that took place is unfortunate, and mainly whether it is voter or leader or whoever may be, we must maintain some decency and decorum. But the castiest comments is unacceptable. The person where Mr. Sudhakar, his name is Mr. Sudhakar, he commented about the caste because Mr. Annabathuni Shivakumar and Mr. Sudhakar both belongs to the same caste. Once he has seen MLA, immediately he commented that, see, look who is here, Mala Madiga, YSRCP MLA candidate. That is the comment what he made. So immediately, naturally, the MLA...
But your leader could have objected. He could have filed a police complaint. He could have gone through this, if he wanted to actually take action, he could have done it through legal processes. Why would he why would he assault somebody? And his henchmen for that matter.
If he is stopped, that Sudhakar stopped with that comments, that is a different. But he is continuously commenting and he raised all, he is also in the queue. And the MLA is also in the queue. He raised these issues and there are a number of people standing in the queue. Naturally, the MLA went to him. Immediately, there is some exchange. Then only something happened. One more thing, first we must understand. You say right that we take a legal action, this one. But first what we must see, what is necessary. What is necessary to understand is why, what led to such an incident.
We heard this.
From the MLA.
Right, Right, Mr. Sharma, I've heard your point. Let me bring in the TDP spokesperson here, Professor Tirunagiri, in the discussion tonight. We've heard different versions from the YSRCP. In fact, they have, of course, said right from the beginning this is some sort of a political conspiracy. At one point, they said that there was provocation from TDP workers. Now, the final version we are hearing is that there was apparently caste-based remarks being passed by the voter. There is, of course, seems to be like some sort of a string of excuses being made by the YSRCP there in order to cover up this particular mistake.
Yes. Thank you for at least, giving me that in, because that's the point. We have been telling it from the moment the incident has happened. It clearly shows the arrogance and high-handedness of the MLA. And also, if you look at the visuals, it's very clear that the MLA skipped the queue. And the voter asked him to come in the queue, follow the due process. That's it. He asked him to follow the due process. And that's when, see, for YSRCP MLAs and YSRCP people, I think following the procedure and following the process is something they have been unaware of for the past 5 years. So suddenly if you ask them to follow the procedure, rules and regulations, they are not digesting it. That's the one thing. And again, if afterwards you say it, initially the MLA hits him. The voter retaliates, definitely, because he has to safeguard his self-respect. He has to safeguard himself. He has to look after his safety. Then immediately after that, you please kindly note how the MLA's men literally thrashed him and hit him throwed him onto the ground and hit him. MLA himself is again seen hitting him, kicking him with his legs. Is it what? And what kind of an excuse? What kind of a defense have they got? Let's assume they are saying there are some casteist remarks. So does that give you a right to hit a man?
Right.
Does that give you a right to hit a man? Is it what democracy gives you? Simple
Right,
question.
these are questions, of course, which we are raising here as well for all political parties. This is, of course, one incident that we're looking at in Andhra. Let's also turn our focus to the incident which we saw in Hyderabad, bringing in Karuna Gopal here, the leader from BJP. That we are talking about the YSRCP MLA, but what about Madhavi Latha there, your BJP candidate from Hyderabad? She did not have any right. She was not the polling officer there on duty asking people to unveil themselves, to check their identity, etc. There are election observers who are there on ground. If she had a doubt, there were policemen, of course, police officials on ground. They could have done that job if at all she had any sort of doubt. She did not have to go about and in a way asking women over there in burqas to lift their veils, etc. So, this is not the kind of behavior that you would expect a leader from a party or a candidate for that matter to have on polling day.
Well, Tanima, all of us have seen the video and we also know that the police has booked a case against her. But, this is a very unique constituency, absolutely unique when compared to other. I don't think there's any other constituency as sensitive and as different as Hyderabad constituency from where our candidate Madhavi Latha is contesting. It is different from the demographic perspective. There's a large Muslim population there. Then the constituency is also known for booth capturing. And as you would have also seen that many fake votes have been detected there. So that gives her puts her in a place where she perhaps feels insecure, number one. The other thing is, somehow, if you see the officials in the polling booth, not many of them actually are very proactive and ask for the, identity check. See, for instance, when we travel abroad, I have seen at the immigration, the people wearing niqab are asked to remove that and then the identity is checked. Now, this is a festival of democracy, the most sacred part of democracy. And if we are still doubting whether the identity has to be established, then it is a sad case. So I think she was very worried about it and she has done what she thought was at that time appropriate.
Right. Let me bring in the Congress at this point. Nagesh, Mr. Nagesh there. The police in Telangana, of course, under the Congress government, why weren't there? If we just take that one point from the BJP that they are making, why don't we see the election officials, if at all, they could have stopped Madhavi Latha there or the police or for that matter actually coming forward and stopping this kind of, proactive behavior, so to speak, which was going on over there in these polling booths, which is, of course, illegal in such circumstances. There has been a case filed, but then there should have been more visibility of election officers or police officials on the ground there to stop such incidents from happening in the first place. And here I'm talking about not just the Hyderabad incident, but also what we saw in Andhra. No policemen in sight when that slapping was taking place.
In both the cases, which is very unfortunate to visualize such kind of visuals, whether it is in Guntur and in Hyderabad. Here, both the MLAs, both the contesting candidates, you have to observe one thing of their mindset. They are undermining the law and order, and they are thinking they are the supreme. Look at the attitudes up there. If Madhavi Latha has some issue about the security, she must have approached the polling station, chief or like Election Commission of India. But she's taking it, dealing with by her own hand. It shows that she's bit above the law and order. She has some kind of the backup from BJP, which is, there is in her head. You can visualize by her visuals too. Not only this incident, let's go back to the around 1 month back incident where Madhavi Latha is, targeting the masjid with the arrow. Which is, very much threatening to the Ganga Jamuna Tehsil, which is known to Hyderabad.
Please talk about today's incident. We're talking about where are the police officials on ground? Why are the election observers not intervening? We'll not talk about past incidents. Please, let's talk about today.
No, see, here we must speak about their mindset, how they are dealing here. Should I approach the Election Commission of India, any polling station officer there? They were standing there. They are ready to help out. But she's taking it, she's dealing by her own hand, which is, something is there in her head that whatever she does comes under legality. But here, one thing she's forgetting that these are the sensitive issues. We are not supposed to, behave that way while election code of conduct is active there. So, which is absolutely unacceptable when it comes to the Congress
What about
case,
the enforcement
as a Congress
on ground?
representative, which is completely unacceptable.
Right. What about the enforcement on ground? I'm running out of time, but I'll give the last word to Mr. Pulla Rao.
Definitely.
Oh, 1 second. What about the enforcement on ground? Shouldn't there be harder actions taken against these leaders in order to send out a strong message? We see this kind of gundagardi and high-handedness happening all the time. Mr. Pulla Rao, last word to you. There has to be a precedent set to take action against these leaders in order to send a strong message.
The most visible thing there is the invisibility of the policemen and election officers.
Absolutely.
In both the instances, I've heard my friends, and I know all of them in fact, they have given their various views. I don't contest that. But where are the election officers? Where is the booth officer? Look at both the incidents. Madhavi Latha is within her rights to question, but she is not the one to go and question it. What happens? Where are the officers? I think other than taking action against the perpetrators, also action should be taken against the booth officers and others. They're totally absent. Look at the way people are fighting with each other. Look at the way Madhavi Latha, I respect her and all that. I'm not going to that. She goes on checking things. You can't do that. It's the ultimate violation. I was shocked at it. If she had doubts, she should have voiced them beforehand, demanded scrutiny of every voter, and they would have done it. But as you rightly said, the poll officers, the police officers, the security officers, the one who are running the shows in both the cases, action should be taken against them. Cases should be registered against them. Then it will serve as an exemplary thing. Instead of that, what we see in the election time is they harass people carrying small amounts of money on the roads. You're 100% correct. The police, the security, the election officers were all invisible when they should have been visible and doing their duty.
In order to uphold the democratic process, definitely more visibility of enforcement officers on the ground there. I thank all my guests for joining us on the discussion. I'm sorry we have completely run out of time, but thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast there.